Every story has an ending. Does our quest to play the top 100 courses in 10 years have a good ending? I'm Nish, and I'm here to guide you through this golfing journey. This is the Top 110 Golf Podcast, Episode 21, Something for the Weekend. Non-golfers will never get it, but a golf trip, a weekend, or a holiday is one of the greatest things you can go on. There's something quite magical about it. It sort of infects your brain. You can't think of anything else, and nothing gets you as hyped or excited. Now that I've done my public service bit for all you golfers there who need your partners to listen to that, we'll move on and we'll actually get talking about golf weekends and golf trips away. So we're about to restart our quest to play the top 100 courses with the fourth and the fifth course back to back on a golf weekend. It's a little bit different for us because we are taking our families this time. However, it still means we just can't wait. So we'll discuss this throughout the episode, but I've got some special guests to join me in getting you excited about golf weekends, golf trips. Now, these guys, they're legends in the podcast game. Absolutely ripping it up. Watch out, Grant Horvat, they're coming for you. But they invited me onto their podcast, the Basic Bogies podcast, and please give them a listen. We'll have the links in our description. I had a great time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll keep our options open for getting on a course together one day. But for now, we'll just make do with being on each other's podcasts. So I had such a good time. I wanted to get them back onto mine, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about golf trips, particularly this difference in a US style golf trip versus a UK style golf trip, and those kind of different culture clashes potentially. So, without further ado, welcome Gary and TJ from the Basic Bogies podcast.
Thanks for having us, brother.
Yeah, thanks. Looking forward.
Did you enjoy your intros?
That was
great.
magical. I feel like the Masters theme song should have been playing in the back. Like
I know. I don't need some really dramatic music in the background. It's building it up. Anything to distract from my voice. So, guys, we'll start off by just kind of finding out a little bit about how you guys got into golf, what your golfing journey has been so far.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing probably around 10 or so, just going out with my dad and my grandpa, but never really took it too seriously. I think someone we had on recently kind of worded it best, whereas like I never could really explain it, and he had it. I think it was Jeff there from Alignment. Was just like as you're a kid and you're playing golf, like you don't get that instant gratification like you do when you shoot a basketball and you make it. It wasn't until like 25 that I really started to kind of take golf seriously and get into it a bit more. Always loved watching it. Growing up watching Tiger was pretty cool, and seeing everything he could do. But then the love's just, I guess, kind of flourished here lately. And then it's perfect to get out with other just friends. We're always out there having a blast. I was at the 7 this morning with some guys, and
oh, nice.
Yeah,
how was that?
It was good. Some other people, the Vegas almost didn't make it because it was storming pretty bad. I got like a foot and a half here. They got like over 2 feet where they were. And I was like, guys, it's fine. Yeah. Which, I was driving around the corner to the sim and they were coming 30 minutes to it, but we got there and it was a good time for sure.
Have you been like I've been on the sim, just absolutely striping it, and then
I shot a 40 on the front and then I shot a 50 on the back today. So
nice.
Thought I had it. Nice. And then
that's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get the turn and you go, I'm on for a good score here. It's the 2 putts on the green that gets me. Like, yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, I kept getting boned by the 3s today. Just some 3 putts that would not going to happen. But
I didn't have today off, so I couldn't go. And then I realized even if I did have today off, my golf clubs are up in Utica. They're because I had to make room for the baby stuff in the car, so I didn't even have room for my clubs.
Oh man, priorities, eh?
Gotta happen, I guess.
Yeah, I know that's it. I question your commitment to the game, but there you go. What can you do? How about you, Gary? How did you get into golf?
So I don't know. With golf, I didn't play as a kid. I didn't really even watch it as a kid. Other than like a couple like driving range sessions and just messing around. But I remember specifically my first time on a course was my sophomore year of college, I went out with a couple buddies that they were golfers, and I was getting so frustrated because I'm spraying this thing left or right, and I'm like, what the frig, man? Like, why can't I get this? So then, after baseball season was done, I went home and I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I started playing and took a couple little lessons from a buddy of mine who plays college golf, and the next thing I know, I kind of just started playing in the summer and trying to play more in the spring. Kind of like a natural athlete where I can watch somebody do something and I'm like, okay, I can kind of emulate that, kind of, get it going. But yeah, it's been something that now I do as much as I can. With TJ and I, we're from the same hometown, and we now live in the same area that's away from there, and it's we met through music reconnected through music rather, because he runs a recording studio here, and I'm a recording artist, so it's like we just connected through that, and then one drunken night he's like, hey,
you met over the mixing desk.
Yeah, he's like, hey, we should start a podcast. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So now we golf together, and here we are. now we're all over the world.
Chat golf together, and now you're plotting world domination. It's great. I love it. Yeah. I mean, is there any memories golf related? We'll keep it to that really stick out like as highlights of your golf.
I think for me, I have two. So there's one where I was with TJ and a couple other guys, and we were at like our home course, I'll call it, Winona, and we just played 9, and we got to 9 and had a really nice high. I missed a hole in one by like half an inch, like literally half an inch, like hit and rolled. And it was like perfect. Everybody like it was in front of like 90 people in the clubhouse too. I was like,
yes,
hell yeah, let's go. Average age 77 probably. But I remember I almost had that one, and then my favorite shot, because it won me money, was I subbed in on a golf league a couple years ago, and I hit a shot in from like 180 yards out. So that was pretty cool.
So
I have an eagle. Yeah, I had it all on a.
Shit.
Yeah, it was a par 4, and I hit it like it was like
180 yard hold it.
Yeah, hit it off the back of off the green, and it was like a backboard. So I literally hit it, and it rolled down to the green, and went straight in. It was awesome.
That's just using the lad exactly how it's intended.
Yeah, I'll never do it again, but it was cool to do it then, so I'll take it.
None of these things are ever repeated, are they?
Not at this level. That's why I'm talking to a mic with a sock on it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we talk golf. We don't necessarily play golf.
Yeah.
I was saying to Chris the other day, I can't believe we've managed to make it. The last time we played on this challenge was the middle of October. It's now the middle of February, and we're playing for another month, so we're going to make it through 5 months.
Yeah.
But still managed to somehow talk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've played around. Me and Gary haven't played around probably since the member guest, which was start of September.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I got out for a couple in September and maybe once in October, and then like
I got out a few times in October, but it wasn't like he was either already playing or I just it was like a spur of the moment thing. So yeah, we haven't played together since September.
Nothing like planned, and we're looking forward to it, sort of thing. I know your hands get a bit itchy, don't they?
Oh. Yeah, I'm like, I need to hit this shot.
Yeah, I really need to waste $40 on golf balls. God. That's basically my golf at the minute. I'm very frustrated with it, but there you go. Right, well, we are here to talk about golf trips, and this morning I've recorded an episode with some guys about golf in Japan, which was unbelievable. They even had a little mini earthquake while I was on. I mean, it was like he just went, "Oh, hang on a minute." Just a little earthquake. Just give us 2 seconds, kind of thing. I was like, well, right, okay, that's weird. But he assured me it wasn't serious. If it's serious, then there's an alarm goes off on your phone, and that's how you know. So
different world.
Yeah, totally different world. But I mean, amazing golf culture. But I suppose I didn't get into trips with him because it seems like everybody in Japan stays where they are, and their culture's quite formal with the way they play. So I think trips, they have to make a trip anyway. They got to travel like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to any kind of course. But what's a golf trip like, US style? Because I've seen some stuff on Instagram, and I want to either fuel the myth or dispel the myth. So, like, what happens?
Yeah, I feel like because like the US is a bit more widespread. Like we're not if we're going to take a golf trip, it's not like we're going in the state. Like I guess I wouldn't really call that a golf trip. I'm thinking more like in the wintertime going down south. But
Yeah,
the difference is, when you're doing the top 100, like you're there in the UK, you're traveling a few hours, but it's not major like climate changes. And so I think that's a big thing, especially in winter. I haven't been down to Florida to play during the winter in a few years now, but you're either driving with your clubs, like it's kind of like an unwritten rule, like you don't bring your clubs on a airplane because they're going to get destroyed. So there's companies like Ship Sticks is a big one where you drop them off at UPS and they'll deliver them to the course you're arriving at, and then you get there and there they are. They're pick them up ready to go. And I've done that a few times down to like the course where my parents live in their development.
and has that been okay? Is that worked out okay?
Yeah, Ship Sticks is that's I mean we're not a sponsor, but
Not a
they're the
sponsored
way to
ad.
go.
No, I was gonna say not a sponsored ad.
It's I feel like it's normally I want to say it's like 50 or $60 to ship them down and back, but it's like you have a ship date and then they will come and pick them up from the golf course and then they get delivered back to my house here. And it's just I don't have to worry about it. I usually ship them like a week ahead of time, so there's plenty of time they get there and you're not I'd rather like get there and have no luggage, but my clubs are there and I can play than yeah.
TJ playing his flip flops, he wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But
there's a friend of mine went on a trip once, and his clubs got lost, so he just had to rent some from the pro shop, and they weren't very
yeah.
good or anything like that. But he had the best round of his life.
Of course he
So,
did. Of course he did.
yeah, just the way it is, isn't it? Yeah, it was like some driver with like dents in the face and everything, and he's like nailing it down the middle of it.
Yeah, I'd say I would to piggybacking off of like what TJ said. Like, yeah, trips here, it's like I would consider a golf trip as somewhere where like I can't drive home on the weekend. Like, like a
Yeah.
2-3 hour trip home, like whatever. Like if we were gonna take a golf trip right now, I'd love to go to like Texas or Florida or California, like well the part that's not on fire. Just somewhere out like where it's warm and
Too
just
soon.
for the weekend. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I'm an American. We don't have any sympathy for anybody else, even our own. Clearly, it's you either drive it down in your car or you spend. I didn't even know about Ship Sticks. I thought you just had to pay for it, like in the carry-on or the carry case
Yeah.
that you send on the airplane.
Oh,
But
I've never
hell yeah,
done that. Yeah.
I'm doing that. But yeah, I haven't actually been on a golf trip, so I need to do that in the near future because that would be a blast.
I think another big thing that's been growing in the US in probably the last 5 to 10 years is creating these like golf destinations. Like there's Big Cedar Lodge there in Colorado where they have like 8 courses. So you can go to this
Right.
place and you know go and play Monday through Friday on 5 different courses like that. And Pinehurst is there's 10 courses at Pinehurst. They've got the par 3 course, like that's becoming a more popular thing here rather than just going for this one set course, which in the UK, if you go to I mean, we talked about before, you can go to one place and there's probably another couple high end courses right nearby.
Right near by, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they're a bit more spread out. So that's why some of these places that have that premier golf course are building fourth, fifth courses right there. So you can stay there and experience different levels of golf kind of all at the
Yeah, and I
same
suppose the
place.
distances are bigger as well, aren't they? So, you got to kind of be quite nearby.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I mean, the equivalent for us for that would be going to Turkey. Would be the
Right,
equivalent
yeah.
because they just made like these golf resorts. I think there's one golf resort that's like they're taking over a whole fucking coast. Like I think it's about 12 courses or something like that. Or I think it's maybe they made 120 holes and they made these loops so you could do all these different combinations of
Oh,
it to
huh.
Ooh,
get
shit.
on. So it's massive. Like everyone said, you can see it from space and all this kind of thing. Well, yeah, of course, because it could be a little speck. But yeah, it's just this huge resort, and they got the facilities there are catered towards men, shall we say? There's casinos there, and there's like all you can drink Irish pubs and all sorts of things. So
Sounds like a
Right.
blast. When are we going?
It does, exactly, yeah. Now, we obviously we don't want to give too many secrets away about what happens on these trips because we don't want to get questioned too much
It's
about.
just golf.
It's just golf. That's all we do. We just think and breathe and live golf. But
Yep.
I'd say a UK golf trip. I think you're probably 60-40 golf is your focus, right? So, and that's probably a little bit generous to the other side of it. I think that people take that quite seriously. You know, you're going to have probably a little bit of a mini tournament or something like that. But certainly pre-round, during the round, that's just in general. I think there's not that much kind of drinking going on or anything like that. It's like play your golf, do it all afterwards, that kind of thing. And sometimes there's one poor saps who's got to drive in between places and whatever. We then finish. You'll probably eat something. You'll probably have a few drinks at the course. Then you'll go out into a town somewhere to go and carry on drinking.
Yep.
How does that
Yep.
fit with what happens in the States?
It's pretty much the same layout, but I think
Yeah.
we're aggressively drinking during it as well. That's
Yeah, okay, fair
that
enough.
might be the biggest difference. At
I
least
think I like that aggressive drinking.
Yeah.
Like I just think so. Like I don't know if we talked about it when we had you on, but like the mini tournaments like you're talking about. I have a thing that I do called the Drunken Masters. So we
Right,
get
yes, I
like
think we sort of
yeah.
talked
So
about it,
I chop it up as that because like you're getting hammered during it, and then you go back. Everybody you shower, you eat. You're probably still drinking, and then everybody's Ubering out, or you're walking down the street from your Airbnb, whatever, drinking, and then you're gonna wake up the next day. Everybody's gonna be pissed off, and then you're gonna do a shot of Jameson, and you're gonna be right back on the horse and go again. That's how it goes.
yeah, I mean, it's not a golf trip unless somebody's puking on the first hole
Yeah.
on day 2, right?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I think
Literally.
I find it an odd thing really that you can probably play. Yeah, I mean, I can't play with any drink in me. That's my problem. I think that's what puts me off it. I think that whether had to, I mean, does it work? Do you suddenly just go? Actually, I'm feeling really liberated here. I'm loosey
You
goosey.
have two opposite sides of the spectrum here. I'll let TJ go first.
I think I don't know if it's big over there, but we do birdie shots too. So whenever we make a birdie, usually it's like just the person that makes it, but sometimes if we're getting rowdy, it's like the whole foursome will all do a birdie shot.
Wow.
And
Well,
we
if
had
you're
one
good, that's
tournament.
fine. If you're not good, then you're never going to do a shot.
We had one tournament. We got hot and we started doing them, and then it went downhill real quick.
Right.
TJ
I think
and
it was match play, right?
Yeah.
So I think we had
were
a big
up.
enough lead that like we couldn't blow it, but it went a few holes longer than it needed to because of the birdie shots.
Well, because the qualifying round the day before, we could not have shot worse. Like we were fucking god awful. And the second round we came out. I shot a 75 alone, and TJ shot like a 78. Like we were we dominated.
So you've obviously the day before you would have been having a few beers while you're playing. You've gone probably out at night as well. Am I guessing that right?
I think it was
Or
the
not
member
really?
guest,
That
and
was
so
the
how
member
that
guest, yeah.
works is there's just a keg open nonstop. It's just included.
Yeah.
So if you're anywhere
Wow.
near the clubhouse, you're grabbing probably 2 cups and then throwing them in the cart.
Like
as
we
you're
were
heading
grabbing
back
2
out.
beers. They give you like the plastic cups. You put the tops on them, and then we're gone. But TJ, he's talking about the birdie shots, it's just little shots of Fireball. And if it's a member guest, I don't give a shit. If it's a team birdie, right? So it doesn't matter. It's a team birdie, so it's a cohesive unit that we're both doing shots. We just happened to birdie a lot of holes that day. And TJ's not like a huge drinker. And about the third one, he looks at me. These birdie shots got to stop. And they didn't stop.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think when you start going, don't you? You start going. That's it. Like, oh, something's going to catch me here now. Yeah, maybe that's a good one to start. Actually, I don't fire enough birdies.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay. I'm pretty safe with that. Can we do
Honestly, it's not
par
too-
shots or something? Or
Yeah.
that's
It's not too bad. But
we'll call it an shot. It's like
like what you said though, like when golfing or doing stuff like when you have alcohol in your system, like I'm very much the kind of person where if I'm doing something in a competitive way, I don't like to drink during it, whether it's golf, like bowling, like anything. I don't want to where people are normally just having a couple beers chilling. I'm not doing that. If the goal is to get fucked up, then hell yeah, I'm your
Yeah,
guy.
fair enough.
I'm shotgunning White Claws in the parking lot at 7 a.m. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's funny actually because you see all the algorithm on your social media is obviously sometimes it's not necessarily location sensitive, so we get ads for all sorts of things that look like a, a ball holder, and actually it's to get cans in and keep them cold and things like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's fucking cold enough outside. We don't need something to keep the beer cold. But you sort of see that and you're like, why on earth would you need to do that? But again, that's the thing that fascinates me. That's the cultural difference. Like, you know, I don't. We just don't do that. The best we'll do is we'll stop at the halfway hut, and you're having a quick beer, but then you're looking at the other group come behind. You're like, are they going to stop as well? Because if otherwise they're going to overtake us, and then like we lose our spot. And
Yeah.
are they quick?
Do
Are
you
they
do
slow?
it?
We don't know what's going on.
Do you guys not do a dog at the turn then?
It's not a big thing. So here it's sausage rolls in the UK. Sausage
Sausage
rolls.
rolls those are good. Those
Yeah,
are good.
yeah.
So
So go on. Sorry, TJ.
do you also not have you don't have like a beverage cart out there driving around
No,
either?
very
is,
rare to have a beverage cart. Very rare.
Blasphemy.
But
The most I've ever seen TJ drink during a round was probably his bachelor party because we kept our buddy and I, TJ and I split up. So there's myself and a couple other people in a cart, and then there another one. We kept, you know what icing is, like with Smirnoffs?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we did that to
ice.
him. We did that to him all over the course. Like I'd leave it like on a tee box. I'd leave it in the middle of the cart path, like when they had to drive up behind us.
So
One
that
of
is
the
like that's
holes.
basically like you see it, and then you just got to do the whole thing,
Yeah,
right?
he's got to go down on a knee and chug it. We left one in a hole on a par 3. I was really
That
hoping that
that
it's the
one got
safest place.
so warm. It was it was like 90
Well,
degrees by the
this is
time I
the
got
pin.
to it.
Yeah, this is the pin, and the bottom was like direct sunlight.
I love that. Yeah. So yeah, we've sort of seen the whole like ice thing. So we thing called strawpedo over here. So you get
Torpedoes, okay.
yeah. So basically you get any kind of we call those alcopops, those kind of drinks. So they're very sweet alcohol, aren't they? Like very sugary and all that kind of thing. So there used to be one. Well, there is still one here. It's called Reef, and it's like vodka and orange, and it tastes absolutely delicious. So you do a power reef, which is you take a couple of sips out of it, you put another shot of vodka in it, shake it up, and then you put a straw in it. You bend the top of the straw over the bottle, and then
For the airflow.
and
Yeah.
that gets the air going, and it's straight down. But I used to do that at university. I can't imagine doing it. Of course.
Yeah, it's hard, especially like I used to shotgun beers all the time. I had no problem with it. We did it at TJ's wedding. Dude, I almost died after one. I'm like, I got the dog in me no more.
How did that stomach cope with it then? Yeah.
It's awful.
It's madness, isn't it? I mean, if my kids came and said to me, "Oh, that's the kind of thing I want to do," but like, that's just graceful. But do as I say, not as I do. Yeah. So, I mean, Gary, I mean, you're probably the perfect person to answer this. So, you've not been on a golf trip yet. If you could plan your absolute dream golf trip, so there's a couple of things I want to know. Like, where would you go? How long would it be? What would the golf format be like? And just what have you got planned for extracurricular activities?
Damn.
Like, is Florida quite a popular place to go? Is that like, or is
Florida?
that
Yeah, because there's just golf courses everywhere, and it's constantly warm. And honestly, I would probably pick Pebble Beach if I'm going to be honest. I think that would just be, it might be an scapegoat answer, but or a common answer, but I think Pebble Beach, like 3 days, so it doesn't lose, because I feel like if you're there longer, it loses its like nostalgic like feel, but yeah, just get like a nice Airbnb somewhere there by the water. You're golfing with your buddies, you're drinking at the house, you get like go to like a nice little like Italian restaurant somewhere. Just get
starting to sound cultured, Gary. What's going on?
It's that bald head energy. It's what it is.
Where's all the messiness coming? Come on, what's happening here?
Oh no, it's debauchery all over. Debauchery is still happening. It's just sounds pristine. Yeah. There's things that I can say, but we're recording,
Correct.
so I can't say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You know,
just
this is all just in jest. None of this actually happens. This is all some magical fairyland where this is what we'd like
right.
to
So,
happen. But
yep,
yeah,
exactly. No,
these
yeah, I'm
trips are
just
always
gonna.
tame.
Yeah, I will probably like day one. We're doing like I'll probably do like a scramble. I think would be the best way to do it. Day two, I'm doing like maybe like a 2v2v2, and then day three we're doing like an individual event based on handicap, and then we're just going and we're just gonna see who can win. We're gonna bet on a bunch of dumb shit. I don't know, probably gonna take off my pants at some point in the course and just never be invited back. I don't give a shit. So
That's a good point. Do you have I know that they're trying to rephrase what these tees are called. So we have the yellow championship or competition tees. We have the yellow tees for the men, and then we have what they're trying to call the forward tees, the red tees, but everyone calls them the ladies' tees. So over here, if you hit your tee shot and you don't make it past the ladies' tees, you've got to play your next shot with your pants down. Apparently, is that a thing in the States as well? Interesting.
Thing is,
Interesting.
a lot of these courses now are adding like kids tees that are even in front of the ladies too, but they're like way up.
Don't take your trousers off there.
That's
Don't do that.
But that's a big thing that I'm seeing more and more courses up here. I think just the initiative of getting in these younger kids type of thing. You can bring the
it's a
whole
good idea, to be
family and
honest.
spread out
I
over
think
the
that
tees.
some adults could do with playing off those much further forward tees because sometimes you're like, what are you doing? Like, just enjoy the game. Go and tee from
I
somewhere a
think
bit
that's
easier.
a good little tactic. Even like every now and then, like move up a tee box or two, and like that's how you got to learn how to score and make
well, I was
birdies
just gonna
and
say,
stuff like that. You
yeah,
know,
Bryson DeChambeau, one of the first
He
things
did
he
that,
talks
didn't
about
he?
when he's doing that Breaking 50 challenge is he tells people what's the most fun part about golf is scoring, right? It's like being under par. When you're learning to golf, it's not cool to to show off and go shoot a double bogey from the tips. Go up to the front tees and learn how to hit the ball on the green. Learn how to hit those certain shots. Like that's what you do. And so it shouldn't be. I hate when it's called like the women's tees or like whatever.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
It's just like beginner, like novice or intermediate novice. Like just name them like that.
Or just
I don't know.
forward tees, just whatever it is, just something that's not, I feel that's one bit that's still stuck in the dark ages. I think in golf, those kind of little. Although I found out today with the guys over in Japan that there was when they had the Olympics just recently, so they obviously had golf there. I don't know what the name of the club is. Forgive me, so I don't know the name. But the name of the club that they had the Olympics on, they had to change their local rules to allow women to play, and then they've changed back now, so women can't play at that golf club. There are not many clubs that I know that have that still as a rule.
Wow,
it's crazy. Couldn't believe it.
It's so funny because I feel like Japan has so many like living in the future like year 3000 moments, and then they're like, women can't golf here. Like what?
Madness. But I mean, it's Kieran was the chap I was talking to, and he said you could book tee times online in Japan in 2004. I mean, like the internet only just started up. I didn't have a smartphone or anything at that point, but you could go online and book a tee time, and it's like that's so far ahead. All the carts, and this is in almost all courses. All of the carts, they're all magnetic. They're on a magnetic track. You got a little clicker, so you just press it to come up to where you are level. You go and get your clubs, and you kind of carry on. And I was like, it's amazing, the technology that they've got. Yeah, but women can't do it. So it's funny, isn't it? Really, really
I want
funny.
to do the nighttime golf. They have like the courses that are just lit up at night. That looks so sick.
Yeah, they do that in the Middle East quite a lot, don't they? Yeah, as well. Again, another friend of mine when we talked about golf in the Gulf, it was he was just like it's like playing a completely different golf course. He said, actually, interestingly enough, he said he found himself being able to hit it straighter at night. And I was like, well, why's that? And he goes, I suppose you can't see anything else. All you're looking at is just what's in front of you. So it seemed the focus is aiming. Yeah, I know. It's not going to help me in the daytime.
Just start wearing like
interesting.
Play like blinders on your glasses, like right here, like this.
just get 2 bits of cardboard and stick them on your face like this. It's
like
just like,
this.
that's all I want to look at. Just there. It's like, mate, it's a dog leg left. Oh shit.
Why does Nish look like a pelican? What's he doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god, I love it. Yeah, but it was fascinating listening to that. Yeah, I think teas definitely should be renamed, but I just don't think you can get over that now. I mean, it's predominantly a male sport still. There is this custom, yeah, play with your pants down when you don't make the ladies' tea, that sort of thing. So how do you get over
I don't
the ladies' tea?
I don't know how it is there, but like in the US, at least like since COVID, like the number of new women golfers is an insane amount each year. Like it's grown so much. Where like honestly, like if you're looking at a lot of the just like the average course, like even in New York State, it's probably the membership nowadays is probably like 60-40 men to women. Like
Wow,
it's
wow.
pretty close.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it's definitely gone up a hell of a lot. It probably went through that little initial peak after COVID. I think it's probably dipped back down again, but a lot more kids got into the game, which is amazing. So like, yeah, so courses are adapting with nearer tees and all this sort of thing now. And obviously they're the ones that are going to carry the game on, aren't they? And I thought it's great. You can wear hoodies and things like that on a golf course now. It's fantastic, isn't it?
That's why it's so funny you mentioned that. That's probably my biggest gripe with golf is like, I understand like cool, like a polo, like don't dress like a scumbag. I get it, right? But like, dude, Jason Day, like his fits right now, 11 out of 10. I love it. I fucking let me wear designer. Give me a tracksuit and I'm
Yeah.
rocking
Why
the
can't I
shit
wear
out of
that?
of course.
Yeah,
Are
exactly.
you
That's
kidding me?
it.
Why can't I wear like a Fresh Prince of Bel Air early 1990s windbreaker? Like, let me do it.
It's ridiculous that you can't do that. I mean, who cares ultimately? You're right. Nobody wants you to look scruffy or anything like that. But
Yeah. But
just
if you're matching and like if you don't look like, as long as you're not like covered in like dirt or like actual shit, I think that you're fine. Like
there's plenty of goose shit on my course, as you usually are. So it's
dude, we have
fine.
courses. One of my hometown courses, literally, I remember on the hole 2, I had a cow walk across the middle of the fairway. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Carry on.
There is some courses like I've been to places before with someone not as a serious golfer that literally had to buy a like pants and a polo in the clubhouse because they had like a t-shirt on and shorts type of thing. But like I agree with you, but there is certain like place like if you're going to play Pebble Beach or whatever, it's like certain places have those different levels almost.
Which
But
is, I guess I mean more of like a local
yeah.
thing. Like
But that's the
having
difference with
said
like
that,
Winnoa. Winnoa's cool with like you wear
yeah,
a
just
hoodie.
whatever.
That's
But
it. You
with
know what I
Noah,
mean?
but with Noah, you got guys that show up that just got done changing carburetors for 6 hours, and they've got jeans on, and they're covered in like oil and stuff, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
That's pushing it a
Like, put
bit.
on a new pair of denim, you know?
Exactly. I don't mind. Just get rid of the grease, man. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Get rid of the grease.
Like, I don't.
Yeah,
Oh, whatever.
it is interesting. I mean, one of my golf shoes is becoming one of my quick, very expensive hobbies now. Like I'm salivating over getting some Sunday red shoes when they're available in the UK. But they're like $250 or something, aren't they? So but they're £250 here, so it's ridiculous, really. But I bought myself some Air Jordan 4 golf shoes,
Ooh,
and
okay.
they're sweet. I love them.
Yeah,
The
that's what's up.
first time I turned up to a golf course wearing those, I went to quite a nice golf course, and the starter. So it's very rare that you get a starter on the first tee who's like checking off and whatever. But this course had a starter. Yeah, I got an interesting look, and I was just like, "What? Go on then. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Go on." And he never did it, but I knew what he was looking at. I knew he was looking at the shoes, and I
That's
made
so
a point
funny.
of like leaning down and cleaning because it's got proper,
Right, you're
grips, like
like the soft
grips.
spikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a point of cleaning them with my T peg, that kind of thing, and I was like, "These are proper golf shoes,
That's
mate. Just because
awesome.
you don't like them doesn't mean I can't
Yeah.
wear them."
Well,
I just
any shoe can be that because there's different I think it's Golf Kicks that has it. They basically make like the soft spikes, and you can put
I
them on
just
whatever shoe.
Brilliant.
I just
Yeah.
bought him.
Oh,
I
yeah?
ordered it.
Have you?
I ordered it like 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, it's literally like a wrench. You know, like how they have like the adjustment thing for your drivers,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It's basically that, and whatever shoe you want, whatever it doesn't. It can be Crocs for all you give a shit. You literally punch it through the bottom of your sole, and then you put the spikes right in there.
I mean, I'd love to do that.
Listen, I'm not spending $250 on Jordan 4s.
My personality. Yeah, my personality is I'd love to turn up in
Hell yeah.
fucking
give me, like,
Havaianas
give
or
me-
something and stick the.
Yeah, give
it's
me like the
yeah, there
high
we
top
go.
Air Force. Give me like the retro Air Force, and like, dude, I'll turn anything into that. Those
Yeah,
be
yeah,
sick.
absolutely. I think the hoodie was interesting because when I was like a hoodie golf course in the UK is the most obvious item of clothing to wear. Right? There's always decent wind going around. You know, it's never really too warm, whatever. So if nothing else, you could just do that and you can carry on. You know, my golf course, which is not particularly special or anything like that, there's a whole email went out about some committee meeting they had about whether they were going to allow hoodies on the course, and I was like, hang on a minute, like Tyrrell Hatton is wearing a hoodie open. Why can't I wear a hoodie at a golf course that, by the way, I'm paying? He's not paying to play there. I'm paying to play here, and I'm a member. Why can't I wear a fucking hoodie? It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. And it's shorts. They were like, you can't have shorts for gentlemen. They can't be above the knee. Like,
Above the knee?
yeah, I'm like, why?
I only
What's
wear
going to
shorts.
happen?
I only wear shorts above the knee.
Exactly. It was like, it has to
What
be
am I
just,
supposed to look like?
just cuts off.
Fucking,
Like,
what am I supposed to look like? Allen Iverson in college? What am I supposed to? What the fuck are we doing here?
At the knee, and they have to be tailored and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, what's going to happen if some old 70-year-old can see my knees? Like, you know, he's got bigger problems than me. Then
He's gonna
You know.
call you a whore and then throw something at you. Dude, I think golf, like, just in general, like, I understand like the integrity of the sport, and like, because it's like it's a gentleman's game, right? Like, you're supposed to be honest and like, uh, carry yourself in a certain way. I understand that, but some of these old heads, like, they just take it so far because they're old, and they're out of tune, or they're out of touch with the norms. Like, who gives a fuck? If a kid shows up and he's respectful, but he's wearing a hoodie, I don't give a shit.
I think there's a really deep. This is going to get a bit deep now. I can't actually believe this point that's coming to my head at
That's what she said.
11.
Fuck yeah.
I can't believe this is going to pop into my head at 11
That's like
o'clock.
his
But
fifth episode in a row with it. That's what she said.
is this becoming
It's so good though.
is that becoming a phrase now? Is that like
It
a?
is.
No, it just keeps happening. I refuse to let him go.
Well, if somebody's setting you up, then fair enough. That's what's going to happen, isn't it?
Damn
Yeah.
straight.
But it's like I forgot my point now. You've made me forget the point. What was I
Talk
going to
about the
say?
old heads being out of touch.
Yeah, I think the wider issue I think there is that the attire that somebody's got is pointing to what your perception of their personality and character is. So you're saying they're wearing a hoodie, therefore they're not going to be respectful, they're not going to be honest, they're not going to be a person of integrity on the golf course because they're wearing a hoodie. Actually, that doesn't matter. You know, that we're supposed to move beyond that as a society and not judge people on that anymore. But yeah, it's like the bastions of the rules. They just can't let it go, can they?
He says to
Let
the
it go.
two Americans going through probably one of the worst fucking crises in the world right now. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
Fair
funny
enough.
because on our last episode that came out too, we had on the Gotham golfer, and he was even telling us, like, obviously he
see
dresses
that.
as Batman, but when he first started, he had to wear a polo under that because they were like, you have to have a collar out here on this course.
So you can't see it, but
Now they realize what he's doing, and like, he's not being disrespectful. He's just shooting content. He's carrying on, staying out of the way
Yeah.
of people and stuff. But when he first started, like, his first few videos, I think he started like October, but he's wearing a polo underneath the whole Batman suit to be compliant
how
with
does
the
he
course.
keep that voice going? I was like, I couldn't do that. He was brilliant.
I don't know. We even only took like one short little break during the episode. Like, I thought he was going to break character more.
Yeah, he didn't break even through that.
He didn't break character. He just like Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's get the
A lot of
strepsils
it.
out. I think.
I need to take a drink.
It was brilliant. It was so
Yeah, it
good.
was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was. To keep in character like that, and again, it's great. And I saw one of his first
Yeah.
videos, and it was like off in the pro shop, and he was trying to buy golf balls, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Is there anybody
Yeah.
here?" I'm like,
But even
"What's
that,
there?"
like, I bet you there's some courses though, like for what he was doing, like he showed, like, hey, I'll put on a polo underneath this. This is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Course was
Yeah.
cool with that. I know for a fact I could name off probably 5 or 6 courses just in my area that would be like absolutely fucking not.
No,
And
you're
I'd
not
be
doing
like,
it.
why? It doesn't matter,
Yeah,
you know?
they're like fighting against the just the way it's going. That's just how it is now. You know, but we're quite. I always thought we were quite lucky in the UK. A lot of the courses they're pretty easy going. You know, there's not much. I think dress code usually is always the one think that people get pulled up on. But generally speaking, any other stuff like they're fine with. Just don't hold up play, and I think that's fair enough, because it's long enough as it is. But yeah, I mean, we've had experience just recently because obviously we've lined up our next few courses, and some golf courses have been like uber welcoming. Just we can't wait to have you here. Pop into the office, say hello, tell us how you're getting on. And I think there's one course that we're playing in Wales. They they know about the podcast, and they're like, "Oh, the chairman of memberships is going to come and play with you, and he can give you a course guide." And we're like,
That's
uh,
sick.
"Yeah, that's amazing." Contrast that with some place, and they're like, "No, you can't even use your mobile phone on the club. We're not going to let you do it." And they're like, "I'm not really asking you permission. I'm just doing a courtesy of letting you know. I'm still going to film on that hole." That kind of thing. It's like you can't stop me. And by the way, you said mobile phone. You didn't say anything about a camera. So
Nailed it.
technicality. There you go.
I
Yeah,
know. I know
don't.
this is. I know we're now deep into this. I do have a question though. How do you
Okay.
feel about music on the golf course?
Okay, so I've had a change of heart on this. So I used to be like, nah, you can't do that. Can't do music. Like it's distracting. It's not the done thing. It's not what you're used to. I don't want to put other people off. But I played on my own once, and I had my AirPods in,
It's how it starts.
and I loved it. I was like, "This is amazing!" Like, rediscovered a couple of albums that I loved, and I was like, "Yeah, that's great." So now the JBLs come out with me, and they're all, you can, because you only need it just loud enough so you can hear it. You don't need it for anybody else. But yeah, I'm a convert. I think maybe nothing booming, but certainly something you can hear is great.
TJ has a whole like tempo swing or tempo playlist that he listens to,
But that
but then
keeps
like
you.
yeah, then he put it on the course one time. It was during one of the member guests, and I was like, especially like you could feel the tempo, and you're like, okay, yeah, I like this. And then
Yeah,
there's nothing better than peering an iron on the downbeat of the and on the four.
amazing,
Oh god,
amazing.
oh god,
That's the thing is
explosion.
I like the music, but if it's not that right tempo, just being a musician and a drummer, it starts to mess with my head even more than it just being silent.
Right, because
Yeah,
then
I've
the
learned to
rhythm's
not.
off,
But it's
and
only when it's like
Yes,
my shot, then it's like once
right.
I'm done, it's
I've learned that when TJ's shooting, I have to turn off Little John and the East Side Boys. He does not like that. It's Natasha Bedingfield, and that's
oh,
it.
lovely. Yeah, yeah, there you go. You can't go wrong with that. It's just a fantastic vocalist. What is it? What's it? Has it got a BPM or something like that you're
Yeah, so all the
tempo?
songs on my playlist there are between like 70 and 80 BPM.
Wow. Okay.
Um
I might
and
give this
that's
a
like
go.
there's different apps and stuff. That's where a lot of like the pros try to keep it, and I just put it on when I'm at the range warming up, especially like for a tournament, just so that I get all my swings in that rhythm. And
Right.
that's my biggest habit that happens is I start swinging fast when I get on the course.
Right. Okay. And this
Um
keeps you in
and I'm
keeps
at the
you in
point
check.
where it's like honestly, when I start swinging fast on the course, I start singing Boston by Augustana because that's just like it comes to, I have it so ingrained in my head that that's where
And
my
that's
swing speed
just
needs to be, and it's like a relocking in.
Stepping off to Boston.
No, 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 not
No, I know. I was just kidding.
that. That's a little quick.
Yeah, no.
yeah. No jerking. That's an easy.
Yeah,
Just an
yeah.
easy swing.
No
Yeah.
jerking on the course. That's
No,
definitely
nobody wants to do that.
no.
I mean, nobody
Don't
should be
do.
allowed to do that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Right, I think I've got an idea what Gary's answer to this is because of where he wanted to do his ideal golf trip away. But TJ, what would be your absolute A1 bucket list golf course?
So I wore this hat for a reason because I wanted to talk about it. I don't know if you know 1764 and what the significance is of it. So they're a company in America. I like the hat. I didn't know the significance when I first got it. 1764 though is the year that the committee at St. Andrews changed it from 22 holes to 18 holes, and that's when the 18 hole like regular like standard became a thing. And I think like St. Andrews is one that I would like rather than play somewhere, in the US, like I'd rather get over there and play that course type of thing. Just cuz I think my play style, I that like link style and these low bump and run, like I feel like I could play very well at that course rather than going to like a TPC Scottsdale or Sawgrass
Yeah,
or something like that. Um,
it's really interesting actually because there's a couple of things about link style golf. Have you had any experience of playing link style golf at all? Is that a new
no,
thing for
there's
you? Or?
like there's a course up north I used to play as a kid that was like it's not really a links, but it's more like that style
Yeah,
than how other courses are here, and I just like that being and honestly like Wanoa, you can play it similar to that where you can land them short and run them up on
yeah.
type of thing. But
It's
it's
really like when I first started playing some of these courses. So we're probably only talking about 3 or 4 years ago. I was really intimidated by them because they have the biggest reputations. They're always used at opens. They're used for the open, and you see them. People are winning the tournament with like 2 under par sort of thing. You're like, oh man, this is a brutal golf course. What a friend of mine told me was that, well, that's happening because number one, they're playing from the championship tees, which are always way back. So any kind of wind is going to make it worse. And the greens are quicker, and they're putting the rough up, all this kind of thing. They're basically making it much more difficult for the professional golfer now. But what he said was, but when I started playing, what I loved about it was, and I didn't think I'd like this because I'm like, I'm not too clever, so I thought I don't want to be thinking about anything else really. But it's the fact that you can think and plot your way around the golf course more. And two, we've had it on occasions when three of us have landed in a very similar spot, and everyone's played it differently because that's how they've seen it in their head. If somebody's played a really low punched 7 iron from 100 yards. Somebody's gone really high and tried to get it to stick on the green, and someone's kind of gone somewhere in the middle or off a bank or something like that, and then everything just kind of gradually filters somewhere. There's nothing too aggressive. It's a wonderful way to play golf. It really is. Yeah, it's a magical way to play golf. So so St Andrews they have obviously they could do it as a public ballot. So if you like you can turn up and enter the ballot. You can actually just turn and wait at the first tee, and if there are any groups that they can get you on, they will get you on that day. Obviously, you're taking a chance. But they also do a thing where, so let's say, for instance, you were coming over, you can write to the committee to profess your love for St Andrew and his ability to make a course, and just go, hey, look, I'm over for whatever. It'd be amazing if we could play it. And they can actually do some pre-reserved slots. The committee does do that. So I mean, because St Andrews is in theory is a public course. It's not there is the golf club isn't St St Andrews. They use that course, but it's St Andrews Links that you're a member of. So it's kind of like a bit of a separate thing. I think I've got that
That's
right.
so
Anyway,
cool.
somebody's probably going to message me and say, no, you've got that absolutely wrong, and you're an idiot. But there you go.
Technically, no.
Yeah. Factually, you're actually incorrect, but
Factually,
yeah,
you're a fucking idiot.
yeah. Hey, that was a good accent. I like that.
Yeah, it's called autism. It's
I
fine.
feel I should. I feel I'm gonna clip that up. I'm gonna save that one. That's a good one.
Thanks.
That was
Cheers,
good.
mate.
Yeah, gee, oh, lovely, mate, lovely. Yeah,
Take you, you little bastard, you.
I love it. Yeah, well, I like that. I like a golf trip coming over to the UK, but that'll be nice. Well, one day we'll make it happen. We'll do a top 110 X basic bogeys, and then we'll
X Rick Shields.
we'll do a. He's in our dust now.
No,
Now he's defected to live.
Yeah.
so funny.
That's big news. That right? Big news.
I guess. I mean,
I don't know.
Well,
He's not
it-
as big here. I feel like I don't like people. I
big
don't
here.
think watch him as much as they used
Yeah.
to. Other
Yeah.
people have taken over, but
he's not big here unless you're like already kind of intertwined in the golfing like creator
into that world.
space.
yeah.
I mean, he's still the biggest thing here. So he's from the sort of local area to where we are. So it's
cool.
It's nice to know that. Should try and get a bit of a leg up from him, really. You know,
Yeah.
give us a helping hand. You know, give us a few million from Liv. That'd be great. Well, gents, I think we successfully navigated the intricacies of a golf trip without giving too much away on these very boring golf trips that we go on, and all you talk about
These
is golf.
business golf trips.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, we always get it, don't you? If you go away with the boys, you always get that. So, how was Dave? I assume he was okay.
Right.
Any news? No.
No.
What about his wife? She wasn't feeling very well. She never came up. You know, it was never a discussion. All right, okay. So
they broke up 4 years ago.
He didn't tell you about his new job. Ooh, well, I better message him to let him know. Congratulations.
Like I was trying to tell that to my girlfriend the other day too. Is like when guys hang out, it's not like that unless that's the reason you're getting together. It's just like if you go golfing, it's like you just talk about the things that are around you, and then it starts conversations. Yeah, and by the 18th tee, you're like, yeah. By the 18th tee, if I'm like, if I chugged a bottle of whiskey, I could probably wrestle a grizzly bear for like 2 minutes. Like that's where we get.
Yeah, exactly. It never happened. Yeah, Emma, my wife, she's always like, you've just spent 5 hours with the guy. How did you not catch up on his new job? Right, I didn't. I was, in fact, if anything, in the 5 hours, I probably wasn't near him that much, if I'm honest. That kind of thing. So, whatever, you know, wasn't there to listen. If he's got something he wants to talk about, he'll talk to me. That's how you deal with it.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why men go on a stag do and they can just get on with each other, and women go on a hen do and there's always a fight. Somebody's always having an argument with somebody because they're wearing the wrong dress or they didn't ask me how I was.
Couldn't have said it better.
Or whatever. Yeah. So anyway, on that bombshell, we'll leave it, gentlemen. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. Yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It's a holiday.
Thanks for having us, man. We always love chatting.
Yeah, it was a
with you.
blast.
Yeah, and we'll catch up soon.
Hell yeah, brother.
Sounds good.
Adios. So that was another great chat with the guys at the Basic Bogies podcast. Look, I love having them on. They're a great laugh. They just have fun, and I'm sure we're going to hear from them again. We'll catch up with them soon. So next time on the Top 110 Golf Podcast, after the winter hibernation, we get to preview the 4th of 100 courses that we're going to be playing, and that's Royal St David's Golf Club in Wales.